Hey there, this is David from MyNAMS.com, and I want to talk to you today about my smart list. I'm going to show you how to create a landing page quickly from scratch in just a few minutes. And you'll notice the tabs across the top. I'm looking at the My Smart List plugin inside WordPress, and you'll see it's listed right here on the left side in the left sidebar, My Smart List. Once you've installed it, you will input your settings, which will include your license key, and you'll have a gallery of images already, and you can upload your own images to the gallery. But we're going to jump to the forms so that we can get started here and show you how to create a landing page with an opt-in form on it. There's really just 3 steps to creating a landing page in the My Smart List plugin, and it is to create your opt-in form, to create the background for your opt-in form, which is the creative. Choose a landing page background as well in the creative. And then the final is to set up your campaign, tell it when you want it to run, how long you want it to run, what the page is, whether you want to track conversions, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to start over here on the forms. I've clicked that. It says add form. You can see we've added a few forms in here already. So I have already copied a opt-in form from my Aweber account. And I just drop in the code. This is the raw code from the Aweber form generator. And it doesn't matter what that form looks like or anything. I just want the raw code from it. I save that. Oh, I need to give it a title. We'll call this the test form or landing page. Okay, you see that 2 fields were stripped out of that form. Those 2 fields are here, all of the JavaScript and everything. Now this works, by the way, with Aweber, MailChimp, GetResponse, iContact, anything that will give you a raw opt-in form in the code format. You can drop it in here and we'll strip it out and pull it in. So I'm going to call this full name, and this one is the field label here is going to be primary email address. Okay, I don't have to do anything because I'm not going to put in default values here. If I were using this with a GoToWebinar field, I just grab GoToWebinar. It would be first and last name there for full name, and it would be email there for that one, and we will save that. So we've saved this form. And now I go to creatives. Just like in all the tabs, I have a complete listing of all the creatives and all the forms that I have here. And so what I'm going to do is add a new one. Click the Add Creative button. Okay, I'll give it the name that I had earlier was Test Form for Landing Page. This is where it gets interesting. Here are a lot of the forms that I have been using already on the site, and I've got a new one here that I just want to click on. Let's take a look at this one. This is a brand new. I could split test this one or this one. Now I've created these forms with type on them already in either GIMP or Photoshop or some kind of an editing tool where I can add type to the templates. Now I'm going to select the background for that image. Just come to the bottom and let's make it this one, the beach. Select that. If I had a GoToWebinar ID, I would put that in here as well as the GoToWebinar URL to the registration page. The reason we do both of these is because sometimes GoToWebinar, depending on the version that you're using, doesn't recognize the ID. But if you put in the GoToWebinar URL, it should recognize that as well. So it's a fail-safe where we have the GoToWebinar URL. Then you can have a redirect URL here as well. The rest of the links here, or the rest of the sections here, will be explained in the tutorials. But basically, this is where I select my form, the test form. The field direction is going to be top to bottom. I'm going to put the labels in the field themselves. I select the form width. I know that this one is 350, 355, 358. The field margin I'm going to say is 10 instead of 15. The button is a background image in the button. Instead, I could actually create a button if I wanted to, or make it a full clickable banner if I wanted to, which is what we would select for banner ads. But we're going to do the background button in the image. And we don't have to fill in text. We will put in the width here. We'll say it's 300. And the button itself is about 50 pixels high. So we put that in. We're going to line it center. This is going to be about 300 from the top and about 250 from the left. Now you just put in approximations here because you can change that as soon as you see it. Then we save it. After it's saved, you can see the preview at the bottom of the page, and you can see that the opt-in form is in the right area. It's pretty much in the right area. If you wanted to move it around in this area, all you would do is hover over it until you saw those little crossbars, and you can drag and drop it anywhere on this page that you wanted. Now, of course, it was in the right spot pretty much for me. Now, you'll notice also that the button is not as wide as our button is. If I had measured the button in the graphic before I did that, I could have changed that. But all I would do to change that is go back up here, and I think it's 350 is what it is. And I would then save it, and my button area would be larger. The dotted box, which is the action area. You see it changes to a little hand here. Instead of outside, it is the arrow. The action area would expand then to cover this entire box. Okay, so that's how that works. That is the creative process. Now we're going to look at the campaign. This is the really powerful part of this plugin. This is step 3. We've done step 1, which is the forms. Step 2 is the creative. Step 3 is the campaign. We click on that tab. Okay, so the first thing you're going to notice on the campaign page is that you have multiple columns here. Show when you enter or exit the site. Or if it's a landing page, it always says enter if it's a landing page because you go straight to the landing page. You have views. This gives you the number of views of that opt-in pop-up. You'll see we have some of them that have, this is 4,000 almost, 3,900 views. It has 355 submits. We just started testing the conversion piece of this, so we have some conversions already lined up. And there's a reports column, so you can actually click the reports and take a look at the reports that come with that for the hourly, daily, weekly, monthly use of this landing page and the traffic and conversions on that. We won't go into that reports piece right now because we're going to add a campaign. Okay, I'm going to add the name up here. Let's see, that was test form for landing page. I'm going to show it to everyone. I can choose logged out, logged in. I can choose to pause it or disable this one. We're going to show it to everyone. You can test it via random testing or sequential testing for A/B split testing or whatever kind of testing we want to do there. We leave the start time, date time blank for a landing page if you want it to be a landing page forever. But if you wanted a campaign to be up for a certain amount of time, and this is especially true for pop-ups and advertising banners, if you wanted to be up for a specific time, then you put in the time and date here that you want it to start and end. It's great for synchronizing your promotions. The goals section, this is all about sending you information when you've hit so many views or clicks or conversions or by a certain date and time, and it'll notify you by email for that. If you have Google Analytics on your site, you click this button, you're now going to track your campaigns through Google Analytics as well. If you are using a static HTML page, then you would just type in your Google Properties ID right here, and you can create conversions on your static page as well. So creatives to be used, I created a brand new one, and it's called Test, and that's at the bottom here, Test Form for Landing Page. And if it were a pop-up, we would click which pop-up settings we wanted, and you can choose visitor enters the page or visitor clicks to leave the page. Here's where a lot of the power is in this plugin down here. Now remember, you're already determining whether they're logged in, logged out, whether they're entering or exiting a page, and whether they've been to your page before. So you can choose to show all pages with a pop-up, or you can select a page. So if you've got a specific page that you've created, and for example, here is one of my pages on 200 original royalty-free extended license photos. If people were exiting that page without buying that, all I do is click that, and I can have a specific pop-up on that page that says, how about 25 images for free? Grab those here. So that would be one way to capture people on the way out the door. It's basically gives you an incredible amount of control. That pop-up would not show on any other page because I just clicked that one. Okay. If I leave it here for everywhere, it will show on every page on the site. I can have it just on the home page, just on post, just on pages, or on selected posts and pages below. And I can search the page that I'm looking for here. Let's see, now we also have pop-up for selected products. So if you're using a member, DAP, which is Digital Access Pass, or wish list, your products will show here as well. So if somebody has a product already, so for example, they have, let's see, they have my 6 steps course, 6 steps to implementing big ideas. I can check that box, and I will only show the pop-up to anyone who does not have that. If I click exclude and they're logged in, they will not see any pop-ups that I put on the site if I'm pushing the 6 steps course, because they already have that course. So when I click exclude, they don't see it. If I clicked include, I could choose only the products that I wanted to show. So here again are those royalty-free images, and I've got multiple products there. If I chose only those products and I wanted to show them a third set that I had created, they would see a pop-up that comes up on their page, on their visit to the website, that is only for anybody who has this product. So if they have this product, then I'm going to show them an advertising banner that says, hey, you've purchased product 1, product 2, would you like to have product 3? Pretty powerful stuff there. So now what I'm going to do, but we're doing a landing page. Landing page is the easiest one to do. You don't have to fill in hardly anything. So you just leave your enable tracking. I selected my creative, nothing here in the pop-up, nothing here on the selection, and I'm saving it. Okay, notice that it has drop zeros in here for these times and dates and all this other stuff, which is just fine. And here at the bottom is a shortcode. If I take this shortcode, drop it on a test page, so all I've done is add that shortcode to this test page, and then I'm going to save it. Okay, I'm going to view the page. And there's my landing page with the opt-in box and the image that I chose behind. If you remember, the image that I chose behind was a long beach image. And the reason I chose a long beach image was because when I make this much, much smaller, you can see that the background actually changes so that depending on the size of the person or the size of the person's browser, it stretches or collapses based on the size that they have on their browser. And that's it. That's our landing page. Now you can see landing page is just one of the many things that we do with this plugins. Opt-ins and advertising banners and pop-ups, those are where the real power lie in this tool, so that you can target even down to a specific page with people who have a specific product, and you'll show them a message that you only want them to see. Hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks.